Boys, I'm about to yap. I'm about to yap really hard, okay? So, VILA. We got VILA's kit, and then we got August kit, I think. I mean, they're calling him August, even though he's half Xivi, something like that. The real name, apparently. I'm not sure. So for now, I'm going to just read whatever the reverse 99 fucking official server says, okay? Now, first of all, VILA. This is a video dedicated about VILA. Maybe we'll make one about August. Maybe not. We'll see. So, VILA. The first question that comes to mind to everybody that read this this kit is: did she just powercraft Tooth Fairy? Oh my god, did she powercraft Tooth Fairy? No. It's one of those situations where it's like, would you like two Tooth Fairies? Here's another Tooth Fairy. It's not a replacement of Tooth Fairy. It's another version, right? So it's not probably a little bit more powerful, maybe, because she gives way more than just healing and critical rate, critical damage if you follow the condition that the kit has. Okay, so she is a plant healer. Thank God. People were like, we were stressing about Marcus' team for a 3-man being like, ooh, you have to use Sotheby because we have no other choice to, if you want to keep the prerequisite for Marcus, there has to be like either a combo of spirit or intellect or full plant, right? And the only way to do that on a 3-man was to use Sotheby, which makes no sense with Marcus. So VILA comes into clutch. We were, me and also Lux, were thinking about it, right? Multiple times on stream, and we were like thinking, like, what are we gonna get? We need a healer. We do need a healer, and it's either gonna be plant or it's gonna be intellect. Now, maybe VILA being intellect would have been actually a replacement maybe for Tooth Fairy, because you would be able to run VILA everywhere if she didn't have those those conditions, right? So let's go ahead and check the kit. Let's reread it, and then I'll say what I have to say. Okay. So first of all, plant 6-star insight. I1. At the start of the combat, increase Moxie for VILA herself, as well as additional Moxie depending on the number of mental type characters in the team. Okay? When in Rusalka status, says Rusalka, I don't know, apologize if that's not correct, status, I acquire one prepared incantation, Song of Inspiration, at the start of each round. After using said incantation, increase one character Moxies and Eureka. Okay, I don't know if you can like click who it is, probably. Song of Inspiration does not require the use of AP, so it gets automatically cast and it will increase one character Moxie's and Eureka. When you use Song of Inspiration that you acquire when in Rusalka status. Okay, I2. When entering combat, decrease the mistake. That's kind of the classic one. I wonder why they make I2 random every time. Maybe now they're too deep and they can't change it. Otherwise, the character would be crazy. Whoever that gets it first. I3. If VILA does not actively use an incantation this round, heals all allies, scaling with attack. That's kind of insane. When in Rusalka, attack is not a crazy value, but for not doing anything, that's good. When in Rusalka status, heal all allies scaling with attack at the end of the round. And since Rusalka doesn't count as an IP usage, this also will trigger probably the I3 on its entirety, right? Heal all allies scaling with attack at the end of the round. So if VILA does not actively use an incantation this round, heal all allies scaling with attack. When in Rusalka status, heal all allies scaling with attack at the end of the round. So are there two instances of healing? Does she heal when the round starts or when the round ends? Does she heal twice when the round ends? Because otherwise, how would you determine if you didn't act to do this round? So this I3, it's a little redundant. It might be just a higher healing when in Rusalka status, so keep that in mind. I don't think it's a double healing, would be probably insane. So you just heal a certain amount without Rusalka and heal more with Rusalka at the end of the round. Or, no, it's still all a lie. So yeah, it's probably that, okay? So Rusalka, when under the status, all incantation of VILA gain a buff. Now, a buff doesn't necessarily mean an incantation empowerment, so it might be a percentage increase, like they deal more damage, they have like an empowered status or something, but it could be also interpreted as incantation empowerment. So if that's the case, that's even crazier. I don't know. It says gain a buff. If it was the incantation empowerment, they would have said so, I'm assuming, right? So we'll eventually answer all of these questions, but for now we are going ahead and checking the VILA's kit. So S1, an Exultant Heart, that's like one skill. Single buff. So she doesn't have any attacks, by the way. Single buff gives the target Song of Generosity and Burst of Strength with this card. When under Rusalka, which we will see how you trigger Rusalka, gives the target Song of Passion rather than Song of Generosity and Burst of Strength. There can only be one Song of Passion or Generosity in the team at the same time. So what is Song of Generosity? Song of Generosity is increase crit rate and crit damage, further increase for mental type characters. Song of Passion is increase crit rate and crit damage, further increase for mental type characters. On top of that, when attacking, deals extra damage according to their tier level, the tier level of the incantation used. So when the guy that has been buffed attacks, deals extra damage according to what level of incantation it has been used, which means a character like Marcus, now I'm pretty sure most of you guys are connecting the dots already. Marcus is gonna be like, let's fucking go, right? Like you get buffed by Exultant Heart. She is mental. You get the crit rate, crit damage. If under Rusalka, you get crit rate, crit damage increased if your mental damage. And when Marcus has just been buffed, use one of her empowered cards, which are all the time, you will get more damage from those, extra damage, okay? So that's the first skill. Let's go ahead and check the second skill, Song Without Words. A single heal. Heal one ally according to attack and gives sturdiness. Pretty good. When under Rusalka, heal the ally with the lowest percentage of health several times according to attack. Now, I don't understand what several time means. I mean, I do, but I don't understand in-game what does that mean. Like, does he heal twice or something? Does it like two numbers according to attack? Because that's the only change under Rusalka, right? Heal one ally according to attack, like scaling with attack, and give sturdiness. And then if you're under Rusalka, heal several times. Heal the ally with lowest percentage of health several times. So it's like Yenisei attack. It's Yenisei heal that like bounces off. Like you heal one ally. If under Rusalka, it becomes the Yenisei buff, this Yenisei healing. I mean, like you heal one guy and then the other guy also gets a little bit of healing. I guess maybe multiple times, multiple low characters get healed under Rusalka. It's not completely clear, but we do have a decent understanding. So I think we can move on. That big heal, that's pretty good. That you can also bounce out if in Rusalka. Now, what the heck is this Rusalka, you might ask? Ultimate, the faraway bright, must buff, dispels, stats down, negative status, control from all allies, gives self, Rusalka, here we go, and convert Song of Generosity into Song of Passion, resetting its buff round cooldown. Now, if you are, for example, doing Exultant Heart on somebody, you gave Marcus Song of Generosity and Burst of Strength, and you're not under Rusalka, and now you know that has like a certain amount of rounds, right? Let's say they have 2 rounds, and next round is going to go off, it's going to like be removed, it's going to be expired. You could technically delay the ult to make use of the conversion from the Rusalka. So let's say Marcus has the buff, right? Does the buff, boom, crazy damage. Turn 2, that the Song of Generosity is about to go off. That's the last turn that you have it. Okay, time to pop Rusalka, to pop the ult. You pop the ult, dispel everything. VILA gets Rusalka and converts Song of Generosity into Song of Passion, resetting the buff round cooldown. Why am I interpreting like this? Because it could be interpreted into like not necessarily on the field, it just does that, and then when you do the card, it's gonna be passion. Because it says resetting its buff round cooldown, right? So I am assuming that it does it live. Like if there is if it is like on field Song of Generosity, it will be converted into Song of Passion. That's how am I interpreting it. I think it's fair to interpret it like that way, right? So that would be crazy, because that way you can expand the length of Song of Generosity. That becomes better because you also get the extra damage according to tier level of incantation used from the buffed person resetting its buff. Okay, so right, that is kind of crazy. Now, when under Rusalka, VILA will not gain ultimate. Now, this could confuse you. VILA will not gain ultimate does not mean VILA will not gain Moxie, okay? You will just not get the card on your hand. The card will appear after Rusalka it's over, right? And then you will get next turn, you will get the ultimate. So you will have just a little bit of downtime, but think about this, right? I1 says that at the start of the combat, increase Moxie for VILA herself. We don't know how much, it's probably going to be 1, right? As well as an additional Moxie depending on the number of mental type characters in the team. So she's probably going to have a similar to Marcus requirement, hidden requirement to get more from the I1. Let's assume it's probably going to be 3+, because it's not going to be 4, because there are some part of the game where you can't use 4, so you need to use 3, so it would be weird, right? So it's probably going to be 3, 2 or maybe 2+. 2+ is crazy. Maybe P1 or P2, P3, P4, P5, we don't know yet. Maybe one of those will reduce the requirement, or it will improve other aspects of the character. So you will be getting a lot of Moxie. So even while you under Rusalka, I'm assuming is going to last for a decent amount of time. Some people were saying like 4 turns. I feel like that's too much. Maybe that could be too much. It would be cool, but maybe it's too much. Maybe they're not going to do 4. Maybe they're going to do 2 or 3. So 2 turns or 3 turns, and it's going to be fine because you get 2 Moxie per turn at the start of the combat. You start with 2 Moxie, right? And then you use your skills. So if you use your skills, like I feel like actually 3 plus turns of Rusalka, and she will basically spam ultimate non-stop, which is crazy, right? If they do it like that, maybe it will be implemented inside a portrait, I know, but character looks pretty crazy so far. I would argue that this character is technically, if under the same the perfect conditions. Under the perfect conditions, it's stronger than Tooth Fairy because it's offering way more. Even though Tooth Fairy has the critical, the passive healing with the baby tooth, she does as well. The passive like debuff of critical, she doesn't have that. But VILA doesn't have that. But the Song of Generosity and Song of Passion is just a card. You can use it. You can use it whenever you need it. Sometimes if you mess up the order, Tooth Fairy will debuff and you don't need it, right? So keep that in mind. Also, she has confusion, sure, but that's it. That's the only thing she does. While VILA, it's also giving a burst of strength, critical rate, critical damage. If under Rusalka, deal extra damage according to the level of the incantation used. Single hit on the heal. You single heal, sure, it's not a mass heal, but it's a single heal and gives sturdiness, and under Rusalka bounces to the lowest percentage teammates, right? According to scaling with attack. The ult, Tooth Fairy ult, dispels the enemy, which is cool. Actually, no, what the fuck am I saying? Dispels the same, right? So she dispels the same as VILA. Mass buff, after dispelling, gives Rusalka and converts Song of Generosity into Song of Passion. And that's it. So the ultimate doesn't do much besides stuff for herself. But the rest, I feel like we're almost there, right? Is she better than Tooth Fairy, though? I would say no, for one reason. The mental type requirement, because you need to use VILA with a mental character. You need to use VILA with any mental character, and many mental DPS will make use of VILA. The perfect pair is clearly, obviously, Marcus. They made her for Marcus, basically, because no one else has that common situation when you have a multiple higher tier incantations in your hand all the time. So Song of Passion will be used by Marcus way more than, let's say, Calabauna or Melania, right? So then think about that. So, right. So what do you guys think? I feel like, let me know in the comment, but I feel like this character is extremely strong. We got ourselves another Tooth Fairy for mental. So for mental is basically stronger than Tooth Fairy because she gives way more, right? It's way more impactful in the team, while Tooth Fairy just stays there and does some things, but it's not like, sometimes you have the confusion card that you don't want to use it, and you're like, fuck, right? You have to use it because your hand is full, you know? So in this case, you would never have a pointless card, technically. So, especially if you're playing with a mental team. So, yeah, what do you guys think? What do you guys think? I think it's going to be very strong, but the problem is that we're not going to make use of the Song of Passion too much, sadly, if you are not playing Marcus. If you're not pulling Marcus, VILA is going to lose a little bit of power, but it might still be close to a must pull, in my opinion. So that is it. Let me know what you think in the comments. And I don't know if I'm going to pull for her, maybe. We'll know. We'll see. Next up is going to be probably Winsong. We're going to talk about it, or whenever we're going to stream on Twitch TV /Jakazin. Okay. So thank you for watching, and see you next time.